I'm Stephen Orvis, and today I'm going to show how Odoo could be used for a company that deals with fuel oils, has a gas station, and uh, having customer invoices that they need paid. The gas station does a monthly uh, bill that goes to the customer. So a lot of commercial customers there, but also some actual consumers mixed in there as well. So I went ahead and I started an actual demo instance of Odoo. Typically, I do demo.odoo.com, but in this case, we're going to have the customer side, and we may need to access it differently. And I want to make sure that we have a good instance to run. But it's free to try. You can go to odoo.com and click Try Now, and then I click the website and ask for some information. You just add it in, and it'll give you a free instance for, I believe, 30 days. So I'm going to go ahead and start building the website, and it uses AI to give you a base. So I will call it as your business website for my fuel, diesel fuel supplier, solid fuel supplier business. The main objective to get leads, sell more, inform customers. In this case, I'm focused on invoices, but I'm going to go with sell more, and then it will just generate it. What it's going to do is there's a lot of basic text that it will put in. The idea is you can get something that kind of looks right, and then what looks wrong you know when you see it. So it kind of avoids the writer's block. It's nice to just get something started. So it looks like so we have pick about us. We want that services. So these are info pages, and then career. If they've got truck drivers going to stations, they may have job postings, and I'm going to do shop because I want the customers to be able to order online and schedule the deliveries that way. We could do live chat, but maybe for a later time. We can always add these in later. Appointments. Locator is nice because we could have a couple of different stations, and do news for blogging, so we can run a blog. And that looks good for now. And of course, we can change that later if we want to. All right, what theme do we want? So again, AI generated it, just picks something for us, and we have a couple of choices. This doesn't matter. End of the day, you're probably going to heavily customize it, but that's definitely nice if you aren't exactly sure what you want to get started. You can just pick something and it will make it for you. You could have also done the start from scratch at the beginning of this if you basically know where you want to go and you're comfortable with Odoo and it's not a big deal. It's also another valid way to start here. But for the purposes of the demo, I'm not going to go and edit too much of the text. So we're just going to leave it as is and have that in place. So it's activating the store. So Odoo is an open source ERP, and that's a big reason why this is powerful for this use case, because there's an ecom website on the front end, but on the back end you have a whole ERP there. So we're going to have customer lists, a CRM module in there to communicate with the customers. We can send out invoices that look professional and can be customized. Have uh, accounting mixed in there, so you can even have accounts tracked and managed in the back end. But it's all connected to the front end inside of the ERP. Even the employees module, which hopefully we'll get to, is connected with the job listings. So as you have job listings in the front end, it'll connect with the back end. All right, this is our initial website here. It's very basic. It just throws in some text we would edit if we want to change anything. So this is the home page here. We just click the edit button, and supposing we want to change that to a different text, we can just go ahead and change that to a different text. And maybe we hate this block here. I'll just delete that. And maybe at the top we want them to get subscribed to the newsletter first. So we can come into here and find, oh, there's the newsletter. So we have to install that. So this is a nice thing. It's going to help us go ahead and get that installed. And so the newsletter app, is going to be another feature that has a connection with a backend in the ERP. The front end, it's just a box, and you get email addresses from that. But in the back end, there's a newsletter mailing list that is going to be created from that, and then it also has the ability to do marketing automation. So you can have a campaign when a customer signs up. You can have this, 5-step email list that tells you how something about the company, or maybe it's a certain type of person that signed up, and so it could be an educational uh, email as well. So let's see here. We should have a newsletter in there. I'm just not seeing it. There it is. So drag and drop, and we can put that in, and then that's going to be there. So we can edit that to do what we want it to do, which we come here, newsletter. So it made a default newsletter for us, and it will go to there. So I'm going to save that. And this is telling me that I didn't set the SEO for the page. This is what it's going to look like in Google. So fuel company, buy from the best. And then you can pick a logo, and it would show up here. Obviously, you'd want something that you have yourself, and it's even helping us that this is probably too short, but that's fine for the demo. All right, so we have that, and we can real quick see what that looks like for the newsletter. Make the window the same size here. So jumping into this, I can do test at test.com, hit subscribe, and that put that in there. So now if we go back, and so we're in the website right now, and we have different pages here. Shop, services, which services is going to be more informational, and news is the blog. So we can add a new blog post fast. Blog post. Welcome. And some text here. What's neat about the blog is it can integrate with the social media functionality, where we can manage Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and then you can cross post over to the blog as well as another side. So we can hit the publish there. It wasn't published because there's a brand new one, so now it's there. So we have that. We have a jobs section, so we can quickly make jobs here as well. Job position, and I need a CDL truck driver. I can just go ahead and make that. All right. Now the big thing that I'm looking for here, though, is actually that customer portal. So we have a base website now. It has some jobs on it, and that would be connected to the back end here. We can actually jump in here. This is going to get us into the back end. So we're still in the website area, but we're in the back end now. That's the actual ERP. And so this is a good look at what Odoo looks like. So we have an administration. So I'm going to do driving for the department, and I'll just do create and edit. And I can see who the manager is, John Smith. So I just made my first employee here. And then maybe the parent department administration. So this gets into stuff. You can do an org chart with things like that. You can set a target for how many employees you want there. And then put in your job summary. And there is even a way within Odoo you could have the whole job offer. It can go ahead and help you with making a job offer up too. So there's a lot of complexities there. But all right, so back to the invoicing though, because that's what we're actually into here. So we can go into invoicing, and I'm going to create a new customer invoice. So I have the first one here, and I'm going to make a new person. How about Joe customer? So we know that we've got a customer here. All right. So I'll leave them as an individual for now. So probably the long-term companies, you've weeded out the ones that are good and bad, and you may just have some customers you have to chase once in a while for something. So I'm going to make an invoice for them, and let's see here. We can use diesel fuel. I can do create and edit, or I could have just done create. So it's a good sell price. Let's see here, about $4, and then at cost we can say we're 3. And the sales tax is something that would need configured there, but that can be changed. As a category, we probably have a fuel category. The parent category. And the AVIT tax, that's a connection with a third party that you could have it calculating the taxes. If it's more complex e-com, you might need that. But in this case, I think we're going to be pretty stable in the taxes and not a lot of products, so you can likely uh, likely uh, likely do that by hand. All right. So I'm going to also make this a ecom right there. I just set the category to fuel, said it's published, so it'll also show up over there too. All right. So save and close. So in the back end here, though, we can say how many gallons they got, and now it'll calculate out their price for them. And this customer now, I'm going to go ahead and save and confirm it. All right, so now we need payment from this customer here, and what we can do is we can do send. So that's going to print it out, and we can edit the document, make that look more standard for our company. We can send it by an email, and then that would send an attachment, and it also says that we don't have an email address for the partner. So I'm going to go ahead and put one in quick. Demo Joe. We can see that they have an invoice of $20, but I'm going to jump back to the invoice here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and print and send it by email. So now that should send an email to them. It'll look like that. This still isn't quite what I wanted, though. Actually, this is just a PDF that comes as email. Let's see if I got it over here. This is a demo instance, so we might need to set up some MX records, but it could be using the default domain name, which in that case we might have it. I don't see it, but we can watch out for it if it comes later. Anyways, so we have that, and I think we're missing a sales module here, so I'm going to go ahead and apps and see what we're, right there, sales. So we had an invoice, and confirm. Let's see if there's another one for the online invoicing, because that wasn't giving us the share option, which is what I was looking for. Okay, I am not seeing it just at the top of my head here. We did, however, get the email just now, so let's pull that open, see what that looks like. So it generated the invoice for us, and let's see here. So you can see it has the invoice there, has the amount on it, and basically it looks like the other one. I think that is what I'm looking for right there. View invoice. So copy link. I'm going to make sure I'm doing this in private browsing mode so it doesn't get confused, because we have an existing user logged in, so it's going to get strange if we use the same person. All right, so now this is the customer viewpoint. So I got the email and it says you need to pay. We have a PDF, so they have the invoice that they, if they're a company, they could send to their accounting department, whatever. They could send a message, and if there's some issue with it, but if they think it's good to go, they can click pay. Now, we haven't set up any payment providers, so that's this error here. So now we need to go back and set that up. So this is in apps now. Type in payment. And actually, let's install a couple at the same time. I'll filter out not installed. So I'm going to go for PayPal, and then ACH would be the two I think we need. Oh, authorized net's another good one. You give us credit cards. And there's PayPal, and looking for the ACH. Right, may need to come back to that one. I see Stripe is there too. And website payment authorize. Online payment. Alright, let's go ahead and install those. So the neat thing with Odoo is the core base of it is open source, and there's paid modules that go on top of it. So what I'm using right now is the cloud hosted Odoo that is hosted with the Odoo company. Now, you could self-host and you could install your own modules. There is a whole open source community around that, and they have their own versions of things. But the core Odoo is actually pretty good, and depending upon the use case, could be cost effective too. All right, so we now have Stripe as a possible payment. Let's see what else is in there. So we have PayPal. Oh, there's the wire transfers. All right, so we have that set up, or installed anyways. And actually, back on that screen, I saw we needed to activate some of those. Not sure how far we can get without activating with a real account, but we can give it a try and see. So disabled, we can click enabled, email client ID. So this would be, now, at this point I'm going to need information from PayPal to set that up. But that's at least shows where you would go, how you would set that up. It's not happy with me because I enabled it, and that's not allowed. All right, and let's see if we can activate. I was actually looking for the bank one. Let's try that. Can I activate? All right. So if we go back to here and we do the wire transfer. So this could be an advantage for some companies to offer e-checks versus always paying with a credit card. There's our wire transfer right there. So in this case, I believe this was for the customer to do the wire transfer. So I think there's another module that allows the ACH to happen in there. You can support Amazon Pay services too. So this gives a lot of flexibility for the payment, how you might set it up. All right, let's do the demo pay. So that's going to just let us breeze through, probably with fake credentials. There, that one says it's on and published. Yeah. All right, refresh. You do demo. Let's see how it. All right, so now it says I paid. So back in here, now it says you're processed and it's good to go. So this gives a little more control over the amount of money people are paying. They don't accidentally put in the wrong amount and they're clear about what they owe, and they can even come here to invoices and bills. So I just got the login page. That means I don't have an account yet, so I need to register fast as a customer. So I'm going to click register, and I'm going to grab that email address I used for this customer. Oh, it already knows that, so I'm going to go ahead and put in a password. Alright, so now I have my portal, and I can log in as a customer now and see my account, which I come here and I can see orders, invoices, my payment methods. I can manage those. And I don't have active orders, just the invoice. So as a customer then, so I paid that invoice. What if I want some fuel oil delivered? Or let's go with diesel. We'll just have a tank, maybe on the farm perhaps. And I want 100 gallons. Let's go ahead and do that. Add to cart, view cart, and I'm going to go ahead and pay with demo checkout. Let's try checkout, see what that takes us. All right. So it's going to set up an address, and I will do 123 main, and actually no. The country. And this here, fake phone number. See if I got the right number of digits there. Yep. Alright, so standard delivery, and in this case you could be tacking on a delivery charge in the back end, but it's set up right now with just the free delivery. I can hit confirm, and I'm going to pay with a demo payment again. Hit pay now, and now it says that the payment is processed. Alright, let's see what my account looks like. So I have orders now, and I have a sell order for an amount. It says I paid already, so this is nice too for the fuel oil company. They don't have to wait for payment when they get it delivered and hope that the person is going to pay them. Instead, now you already know that they paid, and so we're good there. And of course, the delivery, we could have set some cost for that. Okay, so I think that's about all we can see from the customer's point of view. You can even come in here, edit your information. One other thing we could do is we could change the for the help desk. If we added that in, there's even a way that they could have tickets here. So maybe there's some maintenance that they have. Perhaps they have a propane tank or something that's rented out to them. And so in that case, you could have a way for them to have a ticketing system and be like, hey, my tank's leaking, maybe come look at it or something like that. So let's see what the ERP side looks like. So we have a Sal now in there from the website, so that will be interesting. So it starts off as a quotation, so this is already created. So we see the customer here, the Joe customer, and we have his address, and he already made payment, so we're good to go there. And we see that he's ordering the diesel fuel. Alright, and it is a sell order. So that's a real fast how we can set up a website and have payment online from the customers, either an invoice that's sent to them or have them pay through online providers such as PayPal, Stripe, ACH. And that way they can have more options to pay, and that we know for sure they're paying the right amount, and there's clarity. We know what their past bills are, and if they need a past invoice or something, they can self-service. They don't have to ask the company. Instead, they can do it themselves.